Today I have Olight's OPen2 in copper. Now I previously took a look at the OPen2 in blue here, and this is aluminum. Well, the copper pin here is copper. This will be a more in-depth review, and I've been using this copper pin here as my daily on my desk, working from home for months, so I have a good feeling of it. In short, it's a flashlight here on top, and it does come apart, and it is a pin here on the bottom 2/3. Thanks to Skybin for sending this to me to look at and review, and please make sure to check out their link in the description below to their Amazon store. YouTube tells me that less than 10% of you guys are subscribed to my channel, and if you're watching this review, please make sure you click that subscribe button and like this video so you don't miss more like this one. Packaging here of the OPen2 copper is different from the aluminum pin that I previously looked at. It's a larger box that is thicker, heavier duty. Inside you have the same warning about how to open the pin and take it off out of lockout mode, and then how to charge it the first time. But that's where things are different. Inside here you just have the pin inside its sealed bag. The accessories include the charging cable, as you can see here, and one extra ink. The copper OPen2 is made from solid copper. It's not a high gloss finish like some of the flashlight models, but it's more of a matte or bead blasted finish. It's raw copper, so as you can see here, it does have a bit of a patina on it. It's been wintertime and I've been using this indoors, so there's not much sweat or anything to really turn it darker. The clip here is almost like a golden color. I think it's supposed to be more coppery, but on my pin, especially as it ages, it looks more golden to me. It does have a blue accent washer here in the middle and on the tip, and I think that goes nicely with the copper. It does have spiral milling like the aluminum model here. This really doesn't provide any grip or anything like that. It's just texture and style. The clip is held on with a Microtech style screw here. This is a proprietary screw. It's not one you're going to find in your normal screwdriver kit. Tools are available if you need to remove this, but they will be extra and nothing's included. Not a huge deal because I don't think you'll realistically need to remove it. You do have a place for a 1.5 by 6 millimeter tritium. Nothing's included here, but that's a nice touch. They make it extra. I believe that's the first piece of tritium that Olight has used. The flashlight is on the top part of the light here. You've got a little OPen2 engraving there in Olight, which is nice. Top switch here is how you actuate the flashlight. It does have a lockout mode, and I'll talk more about that here in a minute, but it's pretty standard. You will need a custom tool also to get inside here if you want to. The pin is a little larger in diameter than your typical pin. I measured it at 1/2 inch versus 0.39 for the popular Pilot G2. This takes a little bit of getting used to personally, but is fine. Length came in at 145 millimeters, about 5 millimeters shorter than your average Bic pin. The weight of the aluminum OPen2 is 1.16 ounce, which is a huge weight saving over the copper model here at 2.73 ounces. So retention here is decent. Your pocket clip works here pretty well. It's fairly deep carry, not super deep carry, but it works. And here's a picture of what it looks like in my jeans. So as a flashlight here, it's pretty simple. You've got one emitter here on the side. You turn the light on and it comes on remembering the lowest mode that you were previously in, and you can press and hold to scroll up. You got 4 modes. You do have double tap to go to top mode, and there is no strobe. Other than that, it's pretty much the standard Olight interfaces with soft ramp between modes, so it's pretty easy to use if you're an Olight fan. You do have a lockout mode when you press and hold for a couple seconds there, and then when it's on, you get a red LED that comes on inside here to let you know you're in lockout mode. I didn't have any problems with it coming on in my pocket or anything like that. It's got 4 lumen modes. You've got 5, 20, 60, and 120, and internally there's a 110 milliamp hour rechargeable battery. Best of all, inside here is USB-C to recharge it. You just plug the cable that's included in here or any other cable. It does work with USB-C PD, which is great, or USB-C to C. And total charge time is about 50 minutes. You don't get the speed benefits of USB-C here because it's such a small battery, but at least you get the convenience of using the same cable as most modern devices these days. Okay, I've got the Olight OPen2 here, and here is 5 lumens, lowest mode. Decent amount of light. You could read a book or something like this pretty easily. Next is 20 lumens. Next is 60 lumens. And last is 120 lumens here. Pretty impressive out of a pin light. You can almost see my fence in the very distance here. That's not really what this light's made for. It's made for short distance work, which does great. Remember, this is a pin light, and it'll do this top output for about 20 minutes. And here is 2 Olight OPens on top mode together. So we can put them out to the fence there, and Yeah, they do a decent job of lighting that up, even though that's not what these are made for. There is some PWM present here when the light is on. It's not really noticeable to my eye. Most situations, if you've got fast movement or something like that, if you're moving your hand, you might see a little bit of it. My oscilloscope saw it, but it's not terrible. For a combination pen and flashlight, this is the best flashlight I've come across. For anyone looking to carry a pen and a flashlight, but wanting a slimmer carry, this would be a nice option. Runtimes at the highest mode are rated for 20 minutes, which is pretty good out of such a small battery, and up to 5 hours on the lowest modes. So I bet you're wondering, this is a pen, how does it write? Let's write something for you here. So I wrote simply, Olight's having a sale next week. Subscribe to see what the new product is. I have it coming in, so there's a little bit of a teaser for you. Other than that, you've got your bolt action here. I think this is a little bit weird on the pin itself. You've got the bolt in the middle. It's fine, but I'm just used to bolt action pins being up here at the top, but since it's that top part's the flashlight, the bolt's in the middle. The bolt is smooth and just a standard L. It does use a black cartridge here. This is a Parker style cartridge, but it's shorter than a normal Parker, so you have to be careful with your refills, and I'll talk about that more in a minute here. There were some problems with the initial OPen2s in black where the ink cartridges wasn't working well. This has been solved here and it flows pretty well. I've only had trouble, and as you can see that here, no problems with the ink going light or anything like that. I've only had trouble on certain types of paper, specifically sticky notes that left some residue on the page. As mentioned, the OPen2 here is heavy, and your hand does get tired when using it for long periods of time. It's fine for short notes or signatures, but if you're writing a ton, say writing a paper or taking notes for a class or something like that, I'd recommend one of the lighter models like the aluminum pen that I have here in blue, or Olight has a titanium model too. So let's talk about those refills there. As mentioned, they have a shorter refill in this pen. There are some adapters that you can use to fit a Fisher space pen, the really narrow ones if you want. The aftermarket also works with the Schmidt 8126 mini, but in my searching, these are pretty expensive after shipping, and you have to be careful since there's 3 different lengths of that part number. So if you're interested in this, you need to do a little bit of research. I'll try and link to what I know in the description below. In the meantime, OlightStore.com is offering a free refill program until 2022, where you can add a 3-pack of refills to any order for free. But the bad news is it's only black ink and it's only the standard weight here. My conclusion on the OPen2 copper is that the platform is the best combination of flashlight and pen that I've previously tested. The pen on the copper model here is heavier than what I want to use it for an extended period of time, but Olight does have a couple aluminum models and a titanium model that are substantially lighter. It's a little fatter than your average pen or pencil that I'm used to, but not much different from like a Sharpie. The bolt is lower down than what I'm used to as well, but it's still easy enough to use. Just make sure you retract the tip before putting it in your pocket to avoid ink staining your clothes. As a flashlight here, this is impressive for its size. For what it is, it's a pen. It's got 4 modes and it's got a good amount of floody output. Sure, it's a generic cool white LED that isn't ideal, but it works. USB-C charging is nice here from Olight, and the fact that it's compatible with C2C is great too. I can see this playing a role in some EDC carries. For me, it probably won't be a daily carry, but I'm happy with it living on my desk for a few months and getting used frequently when I need to use a black pen. Let me know, guys, in the comments on what you think of the OPen2, if you've got one. They've been out for a little while now, so I'd love to hear your thoughts. This model had no ink flow issues, which was a big issue with the original when it first came out. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe so you can see the new Olight product next week, and so you'll be able to see the discounts and things that I have for the upcoming flash sale.